Ron, Rayne and Smithy are situated within a desert marsh. They have left the helicopter parked at the cave. The trio have discarded their communication devices and have left the cave to speak in private. Mr. Rayne has been informed by the UK that Assad's murder has been announced. They speak in a destroyed building. The trio are still reeling from the fact that Assad's murder is now public. Ron turns his head and looks at Mr. Rayne in frustration.
You know, you go about and you actually believe it, don't you? All these rumors. You think that you're some kind of supernatural being.
Mr. Rayne is indifferent.
I think? That's absolutely not true. I don't think that at all.
Ron is unconvinced.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you do fucking believe it. You think you're some kind of fucking god.
Rayne turns his head and looks up into space.
It's not my fault I'm ridiculously tall, Ron. It's not my fault that I'm actually quite strong for my size, Ron. And it's not my fault that despite being 9 feet tall, I'm also pretty quick on my feet.
Mr. Rayne looks at Ron.
And I'm also pretty quick with my words.
Ron expresses humor and almost begins to laugh.
That's not my fault, Ron. That's just you and your jealousy of the fact that you have to work for a man like me.
They do not speak. The trio turn their heads to look up into space. Ron looks at Mr. Rayne and speaks.
Every time you bled on that table, every time. You want to know what I saw? Fear. Fear in your eyes. And I think that sometimes people need to bring you down to the level that you need to.
Mr. Rayne looks at Ron.
You're right, Ron. You're right.
Mr. Rayne looks up into space.
I need to be brought down, to be humbled. To think that I could just do any of this. To engage in these clandestine operations.
Rayne cleans his glasses.
To a certain extent, I'm no different than Assad.
Ron is furious and looks at Mr. Rayne.
Why do you keep doing this?
Mr. Rayne is indifferent.
What do you mean, why do I keep doing this? I can't help it. I try to make the situation better and I've only made it worse.
Rayne looks at Ron.
But it's okay. You're right. On some level, I do sort of occasionally believe that I'm some kind of god. I have to tell myself.
Smithy interrupts.
I mean, Mr. Rayne, I'm not being funny, but I feel like you don't actually know what it is that you've actually done.
Rayne turns his head towards Smithy.
I do know. I'm fully aware. I killed Assad and I shouldn't have.
Smithy checks his pockets for any communication devices. Mr. Rayne cleans his glasses.
It's a sad moment for Syria. Many people loved him. Many people did.
Mr. Rayne is indifferent.
It's okay. At the very least, we've secured our next objective.
Mr. Rayne looks around the room.
And that is to keep all of this under wraps. Because I can't have people believing this. It'd be terrible for... I mean, it'd be great if it was a conspiracy, but it'd be terrible if it was, you know, legal implications.
The trio are alarmed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't really say anyone really approved it.
Smithy asks Mr. Rayne a question.
Yeah, I mean, didn't you say you were gonna get, you know, MI6, MI5 to give you the go-ahead?
I wanted them to give me the go-ahead, and to be honest, as soon as I secured the deal, then the go-ahead could have been given. Well, technically speaking, I'm pretty sure I violated some international law.
Exactly, and that's a problem. You violated the international laws.
A helicopter is in the distance. It is searching for the trio. They do not notice it. The general is tracking their conversation.
FSG is not even really a real group.
Not like it has a logo.
And its operations are illegal.
Technically.
And you didn't even get approval from MI6, MI5, or the Prime Minister.
Technically.
And you basically you killed the president. It's not looking good.
The helicopter is still searching for their location.